The Death Guard spreads their plague throughout the ruined city of Volkus. Servants of the Emperor seek to eradicate the infection. Will purity or putridity prevail? Find out here on Mountainside Tabletop.
We've played Sanctifiers versus Goremongers. We played Goremongers versus Angels of Death, and now we're playing Sanctifiers versus Plague Marines. Can the Sanctifiers be stopped?
I don't think so.
Maybe if they smell something bad enough, it might stop them in their tracks. We'll see. So I've got the same one box loadout that I used in the other video. I did get a hold of a second sprue, so I am gonna eventually, I have plans to upgrade my loadout. I haven't done it yet, okay? We gotta get the content out to you. We're not gonna wait for me to paint more stuff up. I have enough Votan minis to paint for the 40k army. Anyway, so yeah, you can see my loadout there. What would I change if I had a full roster? Maybe another preacher. I don't know. I think this is kind of sick.
It seems good.
For equipment, same as last time also, except this time I'm taking crack grenades. I know normally I don't like taking crack grenades because I don't like that they hit on 4s. And this team doesn't really have that much that can oomph them up, but I didn't think there was anything else better. And, you know, cracks are good into elites.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the best option.
So the scariest part of this team is like kind of the sum of the parts, but the Melted Missionary has definitely got me worried. Obviously, Piercing 2 and Dev Wounds is a great way to deal with Plague Marines. He's always got his damage reduction up because of the relic. He has pretty good melee for being a melted gunner. Like, I've got a lot to worry about. And because of all the movement shenanigans in this team, like, there's kind of no way to hide from him. I can either like send someone up and take a melta to the face early, or I can hang back and take a melta to the face a bit later, but there's kind of no way around it unless I were to get like really lucky with initiatives and misplays from my opponent.
Never count that out.
That's my game plan, really, to deal with it. But you know, I think this is a very scary operative on this team because it's so unpredictable. Like, I know that he can basically, by turning point 2, have 12 inches of free movement up the board, not even counting his own APL. So pretty easy to buff it with a cherub. Like, I could, like, there's nowhere to hide from this thing. So I've got to keep an eye on it. If I can invest some resources to get rid of it, I will. But yeah, it worries me. All right, back on the channel are my Plague Marines. I really like this team. When they came out, I think they were a little bit of a boogeyman in the community, but they've toned it down a bit, and I think the rest of the meta is a bit insane, and I think they feel like they're in a good spot. I like the models. I like that you have a bit of list building flexibility, but in no way do you need to purchase 2 sets of them to have all the options. That's a plus for me. So yeah, my loadout today, I've not taken the Icon Bearer. This is my first game without the Icon Bearer. They recently changed his ability, so you don't get Contagion for free all the time anymore. You only get it when you're in your opponent's zone. And honestly, I just don't know that I'm going to be in my opponent's territory. So yeah, I've taken the extra warrior instead. He's got a great bolt gun with toxic and poison, so that's all pretty good. So for my equipment, I've got Plague Bells. That is an auto take just to not be injured. Blight Grenades, you know, we're in Volkus, might get a couple good lethal 5 blast shots. I've also taken Plague Rounds because I've got the extra bolt gun, so it kind of buffs that up a little bit.
Like, my team really is going to be bunching up a lot. The Confessor and his abilities, it incentivizes you to be close together. All your plebby units close together, because then they get better. But if I'm close and if I'm in a stronghold, which is kind of my game plan, I really got to be careful around, you know, like Blast and Torrent is going to screw me over. And this heavy gunner has a really good gun. He could easily get a double, triple kill, even a quad kill if I am, like, not careful. So I really have to be making sure that either I'm spaced out enough that he can't kill more than one guy with a single shot, or I just have to, like, make it too difficult for him to get over to me to get those shots off in the first place. Because if this guy goes unchecked, I could lose in one activation, basically, if I'm stupid and let you do it. Which I've been known to be stupid on this channel many times. So
one thing I want to say, so my team has a disgustingly resilient ability where I can subtract some damage from some of Brad's attacks. It's a lot of dice rolling. We're not going to show it all the time. We'll mention it when it's relevant, but otherwise it's just like too much dice on screen and it gets chaotic and confusing. So trust us that we've done it. Don't leave a comment saying, I think you forgot disgustingly use it. You can actually leave a comment because it helps the algorithm, but don't worry about it. We did do it. We just won't show it every time because it's too much and it would get boring.
Also, should we still say thanks to Games Workshop for sending us this box?
Both of these boxes.
Yeah. Nice. Both of these boxes.
Yeah, Plague Marines.
Oh yeah, starter set. That's true.
But that was long ago. I don't think we need to.
We just did it.
Okay. Thanks.
For today's game, we're on Killzone Volkus, map 2, and the crit op is Sabotage. We roll off, I win, and I give initiative to myself and pick the left side of the map. So Vic throws down his razor wire, and we set up our operatives.
In the scouting phase, we both select reposition. Obviously, we've both got a guy just sitting out in the open, so no surprise there. I'm going to choose to give Brad the initiative, and we go on to turning point 1.
Okay, so in turning point 1, for Gambits, I just make my Confessor my orator because I have to. Honestly, I probably don't even need to say it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Recently, we've actually had a few turning point 1s that have broken out in firefight.
Yeah, we've been pretty unhinged in turning point 1, but in this game, we remained fairly hinged.
Yeah, just moving stuff up. I had buffed my missionary up with my cherub, and I was ready to strike, but Victor played so cagily that I didn't really have a chance. I moved him up a little bit at the end of the turn, so I would be able to get a first activation melt-a-shot off if I won initiative, but if I lose, I have a play for that too.
Yeah, obviously, like, I stayed very far back there, but with Brad's ability to move up his whole team before they even activate, that Melta has 9 inches of movement and then 6 inches of Melta, so I had to stay very, very far away to stay safe. So yeah, pretty much forced to stay in my deployment zone.
Okay, in turning point 2, Victor wins initiative. I get an extra CP for my Ecclesiarchy texts, and then I play Emperor Protects, Fervent Brawl, and Rally the Flock to save my Melta from his aggressive position at the end of the last turning point.
All right, well now playing so cagey in the first turning point pays off a bit, and I've got a chance for a pretty aggressive strike here. So my fighter's gonna activate, I'm gonna charge and fight this preacher. I go down to 11 wounds, but I get the kill, which is very nice, and then I'm gonna throw a blight grenade at these 2 idiots over here.
That's the Abbot and Conflagrator to you.
Idiot 1 and 2.
How dare you?
Anyway, the rolls are and none of them take any damage. So what are you gonna do?
I don't really love any of my options here for plays, but my missionary with the flamer is going to shoot your fighter. I just get 3 damage through, but you also get a blaze token. Then I'll charge in, and I know this is risky, but I'm just trying to make your life more annoying, especially the spewer from the heavy gunner. I don't want that anywhere near my backline.
Yeah, so this is an interesting position here, because of all of my available moves, I can't find one that doesn't make my position worse. Basically, all of my options are to move up and then swallow a melt-a-shot, because I can't move far enough to be able to take a shot at any of Brad's units. I can't move into the center room and try to shoot his leader, because he'll just tell me not to with his leader ability. And so I'm kind of just forced to wait even longer. So my warrior's in an okay spot behind a door, ready to pop out in the next turning point anyway, or maybe counteract later or something like that, so I'm just gonna pass.
Okay, my cherub is just gonna move a bit and then buff my Conflagrator's APL.
Well, obviously that hasn't changed the board state pretty much at all, so my Grenadier's gonna pass now.
I love this game.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Okay, my buffed up Conflagrator is gonna reposition and dash up to the top of this building and then shoot down a torrent shot at your Plaguecaster and Bombardier. So first the Plaguecaster, I get 5 damage through and you have a blaze token. Then against the Bombardier, 3 damage through and you're blazed.
I didn't see that you had that much movement available with him. I should have played Cloud of Flies, but I was thinking that any shot you were going to take was going to be within 2 inches anyway, so that was stupid, but fortunately I didn't take too much damage from
Well,
that.
you're not used to playing against teams that can get like a million extra inches of movement, to
Yeah,
be
fair
fair.
enough.
So,
all right, well, my Plague Caster's going to shoot the Conflagrator back. I'm going to use his great weapon, Entropy. Unfortunately, Brad saves all of it, which sucks. So then I'm going to take another shot with the other psychic weapon, Plague Wind. I only get 4 damage through. I was hoping to spend my last APL to run away, but I just can't. I gotta get rid of that Conflagrator. I gotta get some of these bodies off the board. So I'm gonna spend my last APL to use Poisonous Miasma to finish him off with the last 3 damage.
I'm just going to waste some time now. My Drill Abbot is going to move into the center building to get on the middle objective and hopefully score some points later.
Now, I don't want to kill this missionary, but I definitely want to weaken it and move my Plague Spewer up without exposing myself to shots. So I'm going to charge and fight. I'm hitting on 2s because of the support from my fighter, but I roll 2 1s, which is a bit of a drag. Brad doesn't get a great roll either, but somehow, with this crazy team, I don't do any damage and take 4 and get a Blaze token for my trouble.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay, my Miraculous now is going to try and deal with this fighter. I'm going to charge and then shoot with the Wreathed in Flame attack, even though I'm engaged. Hitting on 2s, I'll spend a CP on a reroll. Classic. Vic also spends a CP on a reroll.
Classic.
Only 4 damage through, unfortunately.
So once again, my options are to do nothing or to expose myself to 100 flamer shots. So my leader is just going to stay safe and pass and be ready. You know, people have been saying TP3 is the new TP2, so I'm really leaning into that mantra for this game.
Okay, well, I really don't want a counteract from this fighter, so
Yeah.
my Assassin's going to charge in and fight him. He only has 4 HP left. Unfortunately, I don't roll any crits, and Vic makes a disgustingly resilient roll, so I deal 3 damage, then take 4, and am poisoned, but I get the kill eventually.
I'm going to spend a CP here on Poisonous Demise to give a poison token to everyone in the area. All right, now my Plague Caster is going to counteract. They're going to do their healing action and heal all the way to full health, which is nice, because I have a feeling a Melt-A-Gun is in my future.
All right, Victor, I think the time has come.
Yeah.
I'm going to move up a bunch of people now. So I'm going to move a tiny bit with my Confessor, but that lets me move up a few other operatives as well and position them pretty well for the end of this turning point. You know, I just moved up a bunch of people in this game, but you know, a bunch of people moved me. And those people are our patrons. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, that's good. So some backstory. We were just saying, what are we going to do for this segment? And Brad said, like, oh, I've got an idea. And this is my first time hearing it. But yeah, I'm here for the ride with all of you.
Yeah, thanks to our 1 HP gangsters and mountain goats. Really appreciate it.
That was a pretty quiet goats. But it's bedtime. So yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. And
you know what? We really appreciate all the people that become Mountaineers to come watch our Patreon post-game wrap-ups. After this video, if you're a patron, any paid tier patron, you can go over to our Patreon and you can watch us talk for like anywhere from 10 to 30 more minutes about what we thought about this game and the teams. And we'll probably talk about some other stuff too. I bet we'll talk about the escalation painting for 40K.
Probably.
Anyway, back to the video. Okay, well, since I got to move up those folks before, my missionary with the Melt-A-Gun is going to move a bit and then shoot his Melta at the Plaguecaster. I get a good roll, you get a good save though too, and with Disgustingly Resilient, you live at 2 HP. No counteracts yet from Vic, so my Salvationist is going to pass just to stay on this objective and score it later.
Now my Heavy Gunner is going to counteract. I'm going to take another shot at fighting this missionary, thinking it can't possibly go as poorly again, but once again, I deal nothing and take 4 damage. Would have been better off doing nothing.
So last activation here, my Persecutor is going to charge just the Bombardier. Love it.
Yeah, bet you do.
5-6 damage is just good, man.
Yeah, it sure is. So yeah, obviously nothing is going well on my half of the board. I have been playing like extremely cagey because Brad's just got so many threats that I have to worry about. But they're here anyway. It's like I feel like my choices in this game were to run out and take the punches or to hang back and take the punches a bit later.
Yeah, I honestly feel like I've been able to basically do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, sure feels like that on this side.
I've never pictured Plague Marines like running scared
Yeah.
in the lore, but I feel like these crazed monks must have, like, they're sleeper agents and they just did something to make them.
Yeah.
I don't even know. What am I even talking about?
I'm not sure, but we're gonna move on to turning point 3.
Wait, but first, you can get a skirmish mat.
Oh yes, skirmish mats. I think they said this one would be available soon. We love this mat for Volkus. We love all their mats for everything. So check out the link in the description. Get yourself a mat, save some money, and give us a bit of a kickback.
Thank you.
Top of turning point 3, and Brad wins a pretty crucial and brutal initiative roll. You know, it hasn't been going well, but I did think, like, you know what? I've got a pretty good shot at a couple different double kills if I win initiative.
Yeah.
Not to be. In the strategy phase, Brad's going to play Emperor Protects and Fervent Brawl, and I'm going to play Contagion and Lumbering Death just because I've got some CP, and I don't know that I'm going to be around very long to spend them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I whiff my roll for my free CP here.
What a drag.
So I just got one to hang on to. All right, I had a few options here, and it feels kind of bad to just basically leave the Melta to die. But I think I have to deal with this heavy gunner because there's too much upside for like double, triple kill potential. So I'm gonna charge and fight, and I get the kill pretty easily.
My leader, who has stayed very safe at home this whole game, is gonna charge out of this building and fight the Melty Gunner. Get a great roll and kill him and heal back to my full health anyway with Grandfather's Blessing. And then I'm going to overcharge a plasma shot at the Persecutor. I get the kill, but of course I roll a 1 and take a couple damage from Hot.
Okay, my other missionary, the one that's just been doing work all game, is going to move up, and it's got a great torrent shot against the Plaguecaster and your leader. So first I'll shoot against the 2 HP Plaguecaster, and unsurprisingly, I get a kill. Then against your leader, you get a good save, so he's down to 8 HP with a Blaze token.
All right, my fresh warrior is going to move out and take a shot at that missionary. Get an easy kill here with a bolt gun, and then I'm just going to use my extra APL to dash up to this building and start eyeing Brad's home objective, if I live long enough to go tap it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hope that you don't, but I'd like to kill your leader, actually. So my Abbot's going to climb up onto this building and then throw a crack. And I got accurate on this crack.
Nice.
Crackurate.
Crackurate.
I'm going to use my Purity Seal too. This is looking pretty good, but Vic uses his second last CP to reroll, and he saves it, and he stays alive with 5 HP. Not great. I'm pretty exposed now.
You sure are. So I'm going to take a shot at you with my leader. I'm not going to overcharge it because I'm pretty low on health, but I am going to get the kill and then heal up 3 wounds.
Well, you know what? I did one thing, and I used your counteract.
That's true.
So that is worth something, because now my leader's going to charge into your warrior, bring the Salvationist along with him for support, and I can even move my Miraculist up on top of this building and get her ready for a shot later in the turning point. And after all of that, I will fight your warrior. Vic uses his last CP here to auto-succeed all of his disgustingly resilient rolls, and I'm taken down to 3 HP and poisoned, but I get the kill with the use of Rosarius. You only have 1 operative left, and they're out of counteracts, so now my Miraculous is going to move and shoot. This is a great weapon, piercing 1, lots of damage, and it's enough to get the kill. With my last couple activations, I'm just going to move a couple operatives to get in position to score crit and tac op points, and at the end of turning point 3, I've got a nice lead, and the Plague Marines are tabled.
Yeah, that was extremely brutal. So obviously in turning point 4, I'm not there to oppose anything, so Brad's just going to run around and score the rest of the points. And so no big mystery here, regardless of primary ops, a dominating win for the Sanctifiers.
You know, people have been saying that this team's good, and I guess it's true. Like,
yeah, well,
I don't think I played like a mastermind game by any means.
No, and I certainly didn't play like an amazing game, but I, having played the Sanctifiers before, thought like, okay, I think my best shot here is to not give you like a big push. Like, just don't put myself in a position where your big push can really impact me in the early game. But then your big push just hit me in the later game. You know, it's like I don't know that there's a way I mean, I'm sure there is a way around it, but I certainly haven't found it. So many times I thought like, oh, I'm going to go up here, and if I could go on guard, it would have been great, and shut it down. But I couldn't, and I didn't, and you just walked right over me.
Yeah, I really did a lot of walking in this game, that's for sure.
Yep.
Speaking of walking, you can walk right over to our Patreon, become a member at any tier, and you can watch our little post-game wrap-up of this very game.
Post-game therapy session.
Yeah. We talk a lot about this game. We also talk about future plans for the channel, how our 40k Escalation League prep is coming. And obviously, we get a lot of support from the patrons. We already shouted them once in this video, but really, it can't be understated.
Can't be overstated.
It can't be overstated. It can be understated.
We'd be remiss to understate it. Anywho, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
See you very soon.
Yes.